A little boy packed some bread and drinks into his backpack and was about to head out. His mother curiously asked him where he was going, and he replied that he was going to look for God. The boy set off on his journey, searching until noon. Tired and hungry, he found himself in a park and sat down on a bench. At the other end of the bench was a homeless African-American woman. They exchanged smiles. The boy took out his bread and was about to eat when he noticed that the woman seemed hungry too. He decided to share his bread and gave her a bottle of drink as well. The woman smiled brightly, and the two of them enjoyed their meal together, laughing and chatting. When the boy returned home, his mother asked, "Did you find God today?" The boy replied, "God is a woman, and she has the most beautiful smile." Meanwhile, the homeless woman met up with her companion, who was surprised to see her so happy. The companion asked, "Why are you so cheerful today?" The woman replied, "I met God today. He shared a sandwich with me, but I didn't expect God to be so small." A man had a lovely daughter, and he doted on her deeply because she was the only family he had in the world. One day, his daughter fell ill. He was so anxious that he immediately took her to see a doctor. However, the doctor told him that with the current level of medical technology, it was impossible to cure her illness. The man broke down in tears upon hearing this, but he did not give up. Instead, he took his daughter to seek medical help everywhere. Nevertheless, all his efforts were futile, and the little girl eventually passed away due to her illness. Since then, the father had become a changed man. He locked himself in his room and lived in sorrow every day. He drank heavily all day and refused any concern from his friends. One night, he had a dream. In the dream, he went to heaven and witnessed a grand celebration of little angels. The angels formed a line and passed by a large white throne. Each of them held a candle in their hands. He noticed that one little angel's candle was not lit. Curious, he walked closer and found that the little angel was actually his daughter. Tears streamed down his face as he excitedly hugged her and looked at her tenderly. He asked, "Baby, why is only your candle not lit?" She replied, "Daddy, they often try to relight my candle, but your tears always put it out." At that moment, he woke up with a start, and his eyes were blurred with tears. But the dream also taught him a lesson. From then on, he no longer indulged in negativity but faced life positively. His friends were happy to see him emerge from despair, and from then on, his daughter's candle was never extinguished by his tears again.
A little boy went to the grocery store with his mother. The boss thought the boy was cute, so he opened a jar of candies and asked the boy to take a handful of candies. But the boy didn't do anything. After several invitations, the boss took a handful of candies and put them into his pocket. When they got home, the mother asked the boy curiously why he didn't take the candies by himself, but let the boss do it. The little boy answered innocently, "Because my hand is small, and the boss's hand is big, so he must have taken more candies than I did." In life and work, we should be good at using wisdom and strategies, and also have a clear self-awareness, and be good at handling interpersonal relationships. Only in this way can we succeed in this complex and changing world.
I always thought that I was generous, because I really liked giving things to others, such as clothes, toys, and jewelry that I didn't like. I thought the people who received my small gifts must like them and thank me. But my father didn't think so. In his opinion, this was superficial generosity, actually stinginess. I didn't agree with him. One day, my father took me to visit his boss. When we were leaving, his boss gave us a box of apples. When we got home, my father and I opened the box and found some wrinkled small apples inside. I couldn't help shouting, "These apples are even worse than ours. No one would want them even if we throw them away." My father pointed to the apples on the ground and said, "These apples tell us at least two pieces of information. First, they are given by others. If we bought them, they wouldn't have been put here for so long. Second, they couldn't eat them all, and they felt it was a pity to throw away the leftovers, so they gave them to us." I didn't even look at those apples and snorted, "Ha, what rubbish. Right, it's rubbish. You should always remember this. When you give others things that you don't like or need, this is what you will get. My face turned red. I remembered those worn-out clothes, leftover toys, and unwanted jewelry that I gave to others before. When they opened them at home, they must have said the same thing. My father looked at me and said, "Remember, don't treat others as fools. They know the value of these things as well as you do. Either don't give them anything, or give them the best, the most favorite, and the most cherished things you have. Giving others things you don't like is a sign of disrespect. This kind of behavior seems generous, but it's actually stingy. Only by giving others what you love can you treat others sincerely, gain their gratitude and respect,